Is Tygar the perfect freshie and signature scent? Stay tuned to find out. Hey, what's going on? Hunter here and welcome back to my channel where I upload weekly fragrance content. So of course, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and also make sure to follow me over on my Instagram page. But today we are reviewing one of the most popular from the house of Bvlgari, especially in the Le Gem collection, Tygar itself. And I'm so happy to have a bottle of this beauty in my collection. You guys know I have been hyping and talking a lot about this fragrance the last couple of weeks. And out of the 500 bottles you see behind me on my shelves, I actually think Tygar is gonna be my new signature scent, but we'll talk about that later in the scent profile and why I chose this one. But before we do, let's go ahead and talk about some information. Now, Tygar was launched back in 2016, and it's kind of crazy because it's been around for obviously a few years now at the time of this recording. And it just recently started to get some hype and talked about in the last maybe 2 years or so. That's just crazy. It's been around for 7 years now, and it's the fragrance that started this whole scent profile. Of course, there are some familiar fragrances that come to mind when you think of this scent profile, like Louis Vuitton's L'Immensité, made by the same person. You also, of course, have Sospiro Vibrato, which is a new release as well. And it's been cloned to death by so many clone houses as well. So yeah, this DNA is a banger and is popular for a very good reason. For the retail price on the only size it comes in, which is the 100 ml, is very expensive. It's gonna cost you $370 plus tax, so right around $400 for a bottle of Tygar, which makes it probably one of the most expensive designers I can think of. Of course, Louis Vuitton's, for the freshies at least, range from $300. And then you also have the Chanel's, the Yves Saint Laurent's higher end collection as well, which is under $300. So I don't know how Bvlgari gets off with that pricing, but yeah, that is the retail for it. The concentration for Tygar is an eau de parfum, meaning it is a little bit higher on the perfume concentration scale over like an eau de cologne, eau de toilette, but a little bit less than an extrait de parfum. For the perfumer, it is the man himself and a master perfumer, Jacques Cavalier, one of my favorite perfumers of all time. He's created so many fragrances like Tom Ford Tuscan Leather. He's also the in-house perfumer for, of course, Louis Vuitton, which is one of my favorite designer houses. So he did make Tygar, and he also made L'Immensité, which it does get compared to. And if you did catch my L'Immensité review, I thought about making that my signature scent as well because it's very similar to the scent profile, but honestly, for me personally, I think Tygar suits me much better, and I'll explain why in a little bit later. So with all that information out of the way, let's look at the packaging and presentation you get with Tygar now. So take a look at the box. The box does feel very sturdy and high quality. You do have this Tygar sleeve, which is in this brown kind of tigerish pattern. Le Gem collection, which is the higher end collection. Of course, eau de parfum, 100 ml bottle. You have the Bvlgari logo on the top. On the back, there's nothing. And on the bottom, you will find your barcode and batch code to authenticate your product and see when it was produced right there. And then you kind of take the sleeve off. And then you have this inner black box. Of course, there's nothing really on it besides Bvlgari Le Gem. They're probably all the same. And then your bottle is housed inside of there. Now, they did recently update the packaging with the box presentation, at least I believe this year or last year. So it may look different than you are used to. The older presentation was actually a lot nicer. So yeah, let's look at the bottle now. So take a look at the bottle, which I think looks absolutely awesome, guys. The black matte kind of finish with the gold and just the kind of aesthetic that this gives off. It screams classy, rich, and luxurious. Of course, you have that tiger kind of gem on the top. All the Le Gem collections have different stones on the top of the caps. On the bottom, you will have your sticker with your information and batch code as well. Nothing on the back. You do have Bvlgari engraved into the front, and nothing inside of the cap. This cap is very big, very heavy, and it is magnetic, as you can see, and it is held on very strong. And all in all, the bottle is actually really big. It kind of looks like a 200 ml bottle compared to a 100 ml bottle, but it will stand out amongst anybody's fragrance collection. For the notes, it's actually very simple. You have grapefruit, ginger, and ambroxan, and this fragrance will be classified as a citrus fresh. So let's go ahead and test out these atomizers on these Bvlgaris. Very nice atomizer. It's not pressurized, but it does spray a ton of juice and a broad, kind of wide sprayer as well, which is always good. So let's go ahead and remind myself of this absolutely beautiful creation. In the opening, be prepared to be introduced to the most captivating, mouth-watering, juicy grapefruit you've ever experienced in your life. It is just phenomenal, so well done, so natural smelling as well. And it's interesting, I don't think many people talk about this, but with Tygar, it does have this kind of creamy aspect to it also, which the others like Le Mesité and Vibrato don't. So this is the most creamy in my opinion, but dang, that opening will just catch anybody's attention. If you're out in public, everybody's gonna look at you when you have a Tygar on and you're wearing it, because they just won't be able to help themselves, guys. This is such an alluring fragrance. And once you get into the heart of Tygar is where you're gonna experience a spicy ginger note that just brings a delightful kick to the entire composition, alongside of course that grapefruit, which isn't going anywhere anytime fast. I will say the ginger in here is definitely toned down a little bit compared to Le Mesité. I think Le Mesité is an absolute ginger bomb compared to Tygar, so that is the difference between those two, if you are wondering. I know a lot of you guys watching this are kind of debating if you want to get Le Mesité, if you want to get Tygar, of course, so just keep that in mind. If you do love ginger and ginger is one of your favorite notes, Le Mesité might be more for you. But you are still gonna get, like I said, that delightful spicy ginger that just brings a nice punch into the entire scent DNA. And then finally, when you make your way into the base of Tygar, you are basically just left with a woody ambroxan base that is so modern smelling, very elegant, and just lingers for hours upon hours in that dry down. Of course, ambroxan is a very kind of masculine molecule that is found in, of course, Dior Sauvage. That's an ambroxan bomb. So if you are familiar with Dior Sauvage, at least like the dry down of it, it is very reminiscent to Tygar as well. And believe it or not, ambroxan is actually a very expensive ingredient to include in fragrances. And with this one, you're getting the top of ambroxan with the quality. Even though it's such a simplistic note breakdown with just 3 notes, you have the grapefruit in the top, the ginger in the heart, and then of course that ambroxan base. It is so well done, and that's literally all you need to smell amazing. Only downside with having such a simplistic fragrance is that it is extremely easy to clone. Like the clones from Alexandria Fragrances Black Panther is phenomenal. Of course, you also have Dua Enter the Tiger, which is a great clone as well. And they literally get it 90% spot on, so it's kind of hard to justify going out and spending $400 on Tygar, unless of course you absolutely love the DNA, it's your favorite scent profile, then go for it, because this one just has that magic kind of special touch about it that makes it worth the extra money in my opinion. And especially if it's gonna be my signature scent, I have no problem spending 400 bucks on it. But if you are on a budget and don't wanna spend that much dough on a bottle of this stuff, you can absolutely go with the clones and you will still smell great. People will think it's Tygar if they know what that is. It's very, very hard to distinguish them, especially if you don't have them side by side. But yet again, that 10% difference makes it absolutely worth it for me, especially since I'm a collector, of course, as well. Now for the best seasons to wear Tygar, guys, this is extremely versatile. You can wear it in the fall, winter easily, but you can also, of course, wear it in the spring and summer where it probably shines the absolute most because of how mouthwatering, bright, and juicy this fragrance comes across. It's just that kind of scent profile that just works all year round without any problems, any hesitation. You can just spray this on and you're gonna be good throughout all 4 seasons. That's because of that woody ambroxan dominant base just makes it extremely versatile. And for occasion, it kind of goes along with the seasons being extremely versatile. You can wear this one dressed down in like a t-shirt like I have on now, but you can easily wear it dressed up in like a button up, you know, like dress shoes, a tuxedo, a suit, anything like that as well. It just fits you perfect in any kind of attire or uniform. And it also works dressed up because of how luxurious and rich this fragrance comes across. When you're wearing this fragrance, people are gonna think you have money, believe that. If you wanna make the comparison, this is like the rich man's version of Dior Sauvage. Even though they don't smell identical at all, just that ambroxan wise, very similar, but yeah, this takes it to a whole different kind of level. For gender, in my opinion, personally, this is a very masculine smelling fragrance. Of course, being ambroxan heavy, woody, you have that spicy ginger. There's nothing really feminine about it at all. You don't have any florals, you don't have any fruitiness or anything along those lines. That doesn't mean if you are a woman watching this, you love the smell of ambroxan. You can, of course, wear it. You can wear whatever you want, whenever you want, whoever you are. But in my opinion, when I smell this, it just screams ultra masculine. Just a very masculine citrus fragrance. It's not like a fougere aromatic fragrance, which is usually a very kind of masculine, male targeted kind of genre, but this one still extremely masculine when it comes to citrus notes. Now for age groups, guys, also versatile. Anybody can wear this one. If you're a teenager, you have money, or your parents have a ton of money, they want to buy you a nice expensive fragrance, or you want to ask for this on like Christmas or something like that, you can easily wear this one. It doesn't completely lean very mature smelling. Even though if you are mature, you are like 30s and up, you can easily wear this one as well. Very versatile when it comes to age groups across the entire board. So of course, as always, wrapping this review off, talking on the performance of Tygar, which a lot of you guys are probably interested in. Now for me, I have seen people complain about the performance. I have seen people say that the performance is fantastic. For my testing at least, I got about average performance. And how I categorize these reviews is anything below 8 hours is below average, 8-hour mark of longevity is about average, and anything above 8 hours is of course above average. For this one, it's right down the middle average. It's gonna get you through in like an entire 8-hour work shift easily. It's not the kind of fragrance you have to reapply, and that ambroxan base is what makes this kind of perform up to the 8-hour mark, because that obviously boosts the performance because it is a synthetic molecule. And for the projection of Tygar, which is outstanding in my opinion, I got around 4 hours of like very strong, potent projection off of skin with a heavenly scent profile. When you're walking around, the scent seals that it will come off your skin as you walk within the wind is outstanding. People are gonna smell this, ask you what in the world you're wearing, because every time I wear this scent profile, I get people asking me about it, like, wow, dude, you smell great. What fragrance is that? Write that name down. I have to get that. Just things like that are the kind of comments you will be getting, so just expect people to approach you when you're wearing this kind of fragrance. Just a very crowd-pleasing, compliment magnet kind of scent DNA. Before I wrap this review off, I want to talk about some differences between the 3 most popular fragrances with this kind of scent DNA. Of course, Louis Vuitton's Le Mesité, Bvlgari Tygar, which is the one that started it, and Sospiro Vibrato. Now, how I say is like Le Mesité is that guy that graduated from Harvard, very sophisticated, very classy smelling guy. Bvlgari Tygar, on the other hand, is also a rich guy, but the kind of guy that dropped out of college, is an entrepreneur, maybe invested in like crypto, things like that. It's kind of that more like that bad guy kind of dude. And then Vibrato is more of the mature kind of gentleman that is still rich, maybe a CEO or a boss of a company that is a little bit older, because that one is much greener and herbal compared to these other two, where Le Mesité is a ginger bomb, much spicier with the aromatic touches. This one though is heavy on the grapefruit and ambroxan. That one though is very green and herbal. But all still smell very, very similar, kind of like brothers to one another. Besides that, leave a comment down below which ones you guys kind of prefer out of this whole scent profile, Tygar, Le Mesité, or Vibrato. I know there are some few other ones that I really want to try, and maybe once I get a bottle of those, I'll do a complete comparison video of all of them combined together. Leave a comment down below if you will be interested about that as well. But besides that, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you guys haven't already, and of course, I'll see all of you back here in my next upload. Take care, everybody.